morning. Hello, hello. How are you guys? Good morning, Barbie. Good morning, Jazdia. Oh, good. Not a lot of lag today. Ooh, got my second device going. So, coffee cup of the day. We're back to the cup of rainbows. This is the one that my niece got me for Christmas. My niece Shy. And I don't remember. Did I tell you guys she's pregnant? All she's ever wanted her whole life is to be a wife and a mom. And so they got pregnant on their first try. And this was not she got pregnant and then they had to get married kind of thing. They planned it out, and this was when they wanted to start trying. And so she's pregnant, but unfortunately, my two sisters both had terrible, good morning, Alice, had terrible pregnancies, like nauseous, threw up, blew out the veins in their eyeballs and in their cheeks, like, hello, Heidi. And so they had bad pregnancies. I had pretty good pregnancies. I never threw up once. I was slightly nauseous, like with Seth, for 36 hours. And so I loved being pregnant. It was just wonderful. But my poor sister suffered. And each of them did it 3 times, but they suffered. Well, my niece has now just been throwing up. So I feel so bad for her. She was so happy to be pregnant, and it looks like she's going to take after her mom. Thank you, Heidi. This hat is giving very Easter hat vibes. And as you know, if you've been here every week, you know I'm going through all of my hats to figure out which ones to keep. I've never actually worn this before, and I don't love it. I don't know. I mean, it's a look. I tried to do pin curls, and this hair needs to be longer so that I can actually, because I couldn't do the curl and then pin it, which is why it's called a pin curl. It's not long enough. And if it was shorter, I could have just finger curled it, which is what I did here. So my hair does have a natural curl in it, but I couldn't. But my earrings are, here, I gotta show you. Look, aren't those great? Clip-on earrings. And then my necklace is also vintage. And yes, I mixed rhinestones with pearls. I will also mix gold with silver sometimes. I break all those fashion rules. Good morning, Carrie Ann. Although I will not mix brown and black accessories. Gross. How dare anyone? I watch a vintage girl who dresses 1940 style on TikTok, and she mixes her brown and black accessories all the time, and it makes me crazy. I don't know why that's the one thing that I can't do, but So before we get started on the sale, I have to show you guys, hey, Apple, have to show you guys some treasures that my parents uncovered as they're packing up and cleaning out. The first one is this notebook printed before they had zip codes. And now some of the pages, my dad thinks this was his mom's. So some of the pages have been torn out and used, but we realized that each of the pages has a different saying. How cool is this notepad? It's this big. It's just so most likely from the 1950s. And then my dad unearthed these books. I didn't even know he had these. They're little. So like here's a more standard size book. But they are so cool. So these are the Audell's Carpenters and Builders Guide 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one is tools, steel squares, saw filing, joinery, and furniture. And I love that. I know that it looks like that's not mold because it doesn't smell moldy. So it's just damage over the years. But these, I love the smell of old books. Good morning, Roxana. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to keep it though. I don't love it. I don't know. It is nice. But all 4 of them, and these were reprinted in 1951. Good morning, Donna. Aren't those cool? And then this one is called How to Finish Your Attic and Basement Yourself. And this one was printed in 1953. Look at the blue. Oh, it's such a good color. The inside's a little bit more boring than the first set. And then he has, let me see the date on this one, 1947. How to Do It Builder's Manual. This one's also blue, but a different blue. Oh my goodness, I love vintage books. Don't you guys? And this one was put out by Practical Builder, Chicago 3. It's so cool. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, LaDonna. If I missed you coming in, hello. And then the final one, this one's my favorite because it's called Your Dream Home, How to Build It for Less Than $3,500. And this one was put out in 1950. And all throughout, it highlights things in these different colors. Oh, what is it? That's the biggest one. Ah, I love it. I love old books. So I decided to share some of the treasures that my parents had uncovered. Yeah, Justia, we need that one. I don't think your husband could build a house for $3,500. Can't even put a roof on for $3,500. If you missed my cup of the day, Cup of Rainbows, again, you guys have seen this one. This is the one that my niece got me for Christmas. And I'm trying to decide, I'm gonna pack up all of my coffee cups except a couple to take with me to my sister's in 18 days, guys. 18 days and I'm moving. I do not have enough done. I do not. I did. Oh, and I was going to show you guys, but I packed it. I think it was Vicky sent me a new swan. The memory is terrible, but but it was a Fenton swan in the white carnival glass. Love that. But I already packed it away. So swans are packed away. It took 2 of the medium-sized totes to pack away, but swans are completely packed away. All the ceramic ones, all of the glass ones, except for one. I kind of, it's my biggest ceramic one, and I kind of think it's too delicate to pack away, and it's a planter, so I could use it, I don't know, for pens or something. So I guess I'm gonna leave that one out since it didn't fit in the totes, and I don't want to pack it separately. But I have so much to do. So much. Good morning, Kaz. So I think I have about 25 items today. It's very random. There is no like collection. There is no focal point to this. A lot of this stuff is, good morning, Maria, is stuff that was in my personal collection. Some of it is stuff that I've had for a while that's getting a markdown to $5. And if you missed my video, I think I put it out over the weekend. $5 is the lowest I'm going on anything, and then it's going to be donated. So if you see something you like and it's $5, this is your last chance to get it. It's going back to a thrift store because once I started to do my taxes, I haven't done them yet, but once I started to do my taxes, I realized how much money I lost on that dollar clearance sale last year, at the beginning of last year, because, on average, I'm spending $2 on packaging just to ship stuff out. And then you add on top of what, so I use the example of, say it was a $6 item, and then it takes $2 in bubble wrap, box, packing paper to ship the item. So there's $8 I've invested in it. So I do my dollar clearance, I sell it for $1, and then I've lost $7 on it. So unfortunately, if it doesn't sell for $5 at least, it's going to go. And last year I thought it was better to have it go to people who loved and appreciated vintage than to donate it back. But also it took so much time and energy to pack and ship all of that for health wise, it's just not worth it. So if you see an item for $5, this is its last chance. It's going to go away after this. Also, if you exit out of your chat and then you go to where it says more underneath coffee chat and a small sale underneath the title, and you can do this on all creators on YouTube. That gives you all of my policies and procedures are down here. So then you can scroll up, and yes, it's pretty comprehensive, but it is all there. So about 6 months ago, I switched to giving myself a week to send stuff out, to get it invoiced and sent out, instead of my policy previous to that had been to get it all invoiced by midnight on Sunday. If you hadn't received an invoice by midnight on Sunday, then maybe I didn't have your info and you should check with me. But about 6 months ago, I switched it to giving myself a week from the sale because of health reasons. And so it's from this sale to be next Tuesday. And I might have the energy to get everything invoiced tonight. And I might have a flare up, which is what happened last week, and not be able to invoice until Tuesday of last week. So all my policies are down there. You can always check that. And then I ask that you pay within 48 hours. I know that some people on Instagram they give themselves 2 weeks because they're busy moms, or they do have chronic illness, or they work full time, or I think 1 week is sufficient for me because then I would start to lose track, and I don't like to not have everything invoiced before I do my next sale. So that's my policy. The other thing is that thanks, Heidi. If you have an issue, which it happens, life happens, just communicate with me. I had somebody recently who had a credit card hacked, and she communicated with me. It's no problem for me to set that aside and wait until she got her new credit card in the mail to invoice her then. Not a problem at all. Now it'll be a problem in the next 2 weeks because, I am packing up to move out of here, but just communicate. I've had people have their car break down and then ask me if I could invoice them the next week when I did invoices for the next sale. And sure, I had no problem with that. So, communication is key. If something comes up, we understand life happens. It happens to all of us. just have to communicate. On that note, we're going to get started since it's quite a few items to get through. And thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. First item. This is, I believe this was FTD. Let me see. FTD 1986. It is crystal. It's a nice size, so the credit card, I've had that happen to me. Well, it was my debit card. Christmas Eve, I'm at my family's. We are opening presents, and I get a call from the bank. I can't remember what their line is, but I get a call and it's a recorded message telling me there's unusual activity on my card. And I'm like, I'm sitting in my parents' living room watching everyone open presents. No, I am not shopping in Columbus at the Dollar Tree. Or no, it was Dollar General. And apparently this was like the 4th or 5th Dollar General they'd hit with my card number. And then because the holidays, the bank is like, oh, we might not be able to get you the money back until after the 1st. And I was freaking out. But the money was back in there 2 days later. 2 days after Christmas Day, the money was back in there. But yeah, it happens. It can happen to anybody. So, pretty crystal bowl. It would be an oversized candy dish. It got hearts on it for Valentine's Day. I do not believe this had any chips. I'm not feeling any. And it is only $5 because this is one of those items that has been sitting around here. So we are looking at like 4.5 inches tall. $5, number 7. $5, number 7. And the room today, good morning, Roxanne. 64 degrees in here. Dad's got the fire going, but the blower hasn't kicked on yet. Although it looks like the blower might kick on soon. If you hear a little noise, it's the blower kicking on. Next up is this aluminum tray in that pink coppery kind of, looks more gold on there, but in real life it's that pink coppery color. It's got a leaf and an acorn in the center and little raised, super cute. $8, number 88. $8, number 88. Next up, if this had had the cup, these go for a nice amount online, but Jazz Deal will take the aluminum. Awesome. But no cup. I just used it as display because this is my favorite color of blue. This blue was from the late 50s, early 60s. It goes really well with the pink and the mint green, and those are the colors I have in my kitchen. So I just had it on display. This one is from, it's the 1960s, but I think it's actually says on here, 1963, King Sealy Thermos Company. It's a keepsit. They did this in 2 sizes. This was the smaller, like child's one, and then they did the bigger one, like taking it to work with you kind of thing. It does have some rust on it, but it's not shattered on the inside. Although I don't know how it's going to do in this weather. I am not opening it. Nobody wants to see if it smells. $8, number 64. $8, number 64. You can see how big it is. And I just used it as a display piece. Next up, I know that I bought this from another reseller. I thought I had bought it from Nikki and John, but I cannot find the receipt. Like, I keep all of my PayPal invoices that I've paid in a folder. I couldn't find it, so I have no idea how much I paid for it. This is a Taylor thermometer barometer. And let's see if how it's working. So it says it's 62 in here. This said 64, so we're pretty close. And then the humidity, it's giving 40% humidity here. We've got 37% humidity on here. So close. And then the thing that I liked about it was the barometer on here. So it does have the barometer. And this was their desktop, the Taylor desktop. And they did this for years. Like, they did this for decades with different iterations. It's that hard plastic, I believe. And then you can see on the back says Taylor Instrument Companies. And you can move this one. Now here's where the inside the plastic, you can see when they screwed this into the plastic that it damaged the plastic a little bit. But you can move this so you can track, like, the barometer today is at this point, and then if the white one moves, then you'll know the barometer went up or down. So you can move this dial. And it's got little feetsies because it was a desktop one. $12, number 25. $12, number 25. Next up is the purple hat I was wearing in the video. I don't love it. I wanted to love it because it's purple, which is my favorite color, but I didn't. I don't know. I have a big weird head. So it says Rome exclusive, and then 23, I guess, is the size maybe over here. I could not find one of these online. I think that says it was made in Belgium. The stamp in there. So it's velvet, and then this bit is satin. I don't know, maybe it's just been a tiny bit bigger. I would have loved it, but I didn't, and I'm not keeping things I don't love. So this one is only $8. Number 82. $8, number 82 on the purple velvet hat. Next up is this brown glass. Oh, Jazdia wants the hat. Thank you, Jazdia. I'll have to stuff it with tissue paper so it doesn't get squashed and lose its shape. Good morning, Kraken. Those are pears on there. I don't know if you can see them. I don't remember what glass company did this, but I love this root beer color of glass. It is stunning. So, little creamer. I wonder if this had a sugar dish. How pretty would that be? It's this size. And this is one of those things I've had up for sale a couple times. So we're getting a $5 clearance price on it. $5, number 19 on this root beer colored glass creamer. Oh, it's so pretty. I do not think it comes off near as pretty through the camera as it does in real life, because you can see, turn this up. Maybe a little better. I don't know. But $5, number 19. Next up, coaster carrier. My grandma had several of these metal holder things for different stuff around her place. So this always makes me think of grandma's house, this kind of stuff. I have seen this one with the glass coasters in it, in a complete set in an antique store. So I'm going to bet that this originally had glass coasters in it. I found that and I knew immediately what it was, but found this just by itself and actually had it sitting here with my random coasters because I collect the one-offs. But since I am packing all of that stuff up, thought I'd offer it up here. Coaster carrier, $10, number 80. $10, number 80. And let me tell you, ladies back then took entertaining in their homes to a next level. We do not do that. Okay, these next two are going to be the damaged fairy lamps. So this first one, I'm going to show you, has the very big break. You should not, somebody did have a candle lit in here, but you should not, because you do not want the heat expanding that and then shattering it. Donna's going to take the coaster carrier. Thanks, Donna. So the bottom part is fine. You can see some wax in here, so I know somebody did. And when I looked this one up online, it wasn't a glass company I recognized, but it was made in the 1970s, according to the info that I saw online. Again, really pretty with that root berry color. Now, this, it doesn't want to come across, but it has a crack right here behind my finger inside the glass. Hey, Spirit Junkie. So I've had it displayed with a battery operated candle for, a couple of years. But it does have a big crack in it. And then I can't tell if that's a ding right in there, or is that close to where the crack is? Yeah, I think it probably fell over. But here's the front. So displayability, no issues with displayability. $10, number 38. $10, number 38, but it's got the big crack in it. And then this one, I know I paid more than $10 for it with the damage. I was trying to help a new reseller get started. It was their first, her and her daughter's first YouTube sale, I believe, or was it on Instagram? I don't remember. But this one was made by Fenton, but it was the old Virginia glass line. So you've got the OVG under there, and it's missing a point right here. So again, for displayability, it's fine. And this one I think would be fine to have an actual candle in. It's not like it's a crack that's going to expand and shatter. So here's the bottom. And then it's got this gorgeous opalescence, but it has two dings right on top, right there, and then a littler one right there. And this one is a much lighter amber. I did have them displayed together. And this one as well, just $10, number 62. But this one, I did have a candle in at one point. And you could too. Kraken's going to take that one. Thank you. Let me set that back here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Next up is the bunny teapot. It just gives me a chuckle every time. Now this one, somebody did have a plant in. So even though I soaked it and scrubbed it, you can still see it deep in the crevices there is dirt. Just so you're aware. Nope. Love the bunnies. And it's almost Easter time, you guys. So for the bunny teapot, it is $12, number 53. $12, number 53. And I don't, this one has crazing, but it did not have anything identifying on the bottom. Kaz, I'd already gotten Kraken for number 62, but thank you. And then we've got the lettuce pitcher. To me, this looks like romaine. Romaine. And this one is made in Japan in 1987. But thank you, Cass. And, you know, it's been a while since I thanked my moderators. So moderators show up in blue if you are unfamiliar with how channels work. And so looks like just Jazdia and Kaz this morning are the only two moderators. Apple if she's still in here, and Barbie if she's still in here. But Barbie's at work right now. So if she is still in here, she's just listening. She's not moderating, but my moderators do a fantastic job of keeping me on track because we all know how forgetful I am and making sure that the chat is not disrupted. So I appreciate every one of my moderators. Thank you guys. So the pitcher is a little bit bigger height-wise than the teapot. Wanted to show you that. And no, I would say these were different brands since the teapot was unmarked. But for spring, Easter, kind of, it's going to give you the cutest. I've also got a plate later on. $12, number 22. $12, number 22 on the lettuce pitcher. Next up are these. Oh, hey, Tiger. Thank you. Are these little plaques? They're a tad bit bigger than the ones I had for sale last time. So just over 4 1/4 by just under 4 inches. So just over 4 inches by under 4 inches. They're the same size. And they are just bouquets of flowers. So sweet and pretty when they're hung together. I love the little art for if you're doing a gallery wall to fill in little spaces. Good morning, Geneva. That's funny that I just thanked my moderators and then 2 more showed up. $8, number 39, and you get both. $8, number 39 for both of the little pieces of art. And they're not hand painted or anything. They're just, you know, pictures printed on these wood pieces and then varnished over. Next up, this was in my gallery wall. because my theme, if you haven't seen that video, was very feminine. Oh, Jasty wants those. Was very feminine and very pink. And so this is a Romeo and Juliet scene carved out of carnelian. And then this white bit Incolay. And this is plate number 8674D. It was printed in 1998 or carved in 1998. And it was sculpted by Roger Akers, crafted in rose carnelian Incolay stone at the Incolay Studios, California, USA. And this limited edition closed forever on the 31st day of March 1990. And then it's got a Bradex number. I don't know what any of that means. To me, it was just pretty. It was feminine. It fit perfectly into my gallery wall. I love the detail. I love the depth in it. It's just super pretty. $10, number 36. $10, number 36. And if you look these up online, they're anywhere from like $24 to $40 listed, but none of them have sold recently. So $10, number 36. Yes, it does. Next up, these are not vintage, but they are amethyst napkin rings that look like grape clusters. So fun. But I've really decided that anything that is not going with that pink, mint green, and early 1960s blue, it's just not, I'm not going to keep it in my kitchen. I had to focus on one. If I'm going to be storing this stuff for the next however long, I had to focus on one theme. So anything that doesn't fit that theme is going to go. So napkin rings, there's 4 of them. They are amethyst made to look like grape clusters. $8, number 28. $8, number 28. This hat keeps sliding back. There we go. Oh, I knew I had 2 sets of those, Kaz. I kept one for myself, but now I'm not going to keep this set. Kaz got a good deal on the other set. All right. We have the Amberina Moon and Stars canister. And it's got wax on it from that thing I was cleaning earlier. I do not believe there is anything wrong with this one. This is the 5-inch, so it's the smallest of the set of 4. Hey, Helen. I can show you that it is the 5-inch. $15, number 26. $15, number 26. Yeah, I went through an Amberina phase and bought all the Amberina for a while there. I was totally in love with it. And then I got rid of all of the Amberina because I was out of my Amberina except this. And I've actually been keeping mint tea leaves in this. But like I said, everything is going to narrow down to just the colors that I want my kitchen to be. All right, and if nobody is claiming this, I did have somebody who got a hold of me ahead of time who can't be here this morning, and I will be putting her name down for it. All right. So that one is sold to somebody who asked for it beforehand. She will be happy. Okay, next up, this shoe is made in Taiwan, so probably made in the 80s. It is one of the cat shoes, but this isn't by one of the good glass companies. This was made in Taiwan. So these were imitations of the good glass companies. And it is daisy and buttons pattern. And when you hold these up to the ones that were made by like Fenton or any of the other companies, I mean, you can really tell a difference in quality. Now, if they're just sitting with the rest of your collection, they look fantastic. But when you're feeling them, you can tell a difference in quality. It is, and I don't think this one has any, let me check. I'm not feeling any dings. There's no cracks. So $5, number 10. $5, number 10 for the daisy and buttons made in Taiwan glass shoe with the cat. Like there's no definition to the cat face at all on these ones that were made in Taiwan. And Jazzy is going to take that one. Thank you, Jazzy. And then next up, I looked up what company. No, Kaz, no purple glass. I looked up what company this was once, and now I don't remember. It does have a chip back here. But I do believe this was older. And it's smaller. So I wanted to show you the size difference on it. This also is daisy and buttons, but you can see the difference in the definition, I think. I don't know if you guys can, but I can see it. And this part is really open. Like there's a bigger space there. Tiny little shoe. This makes me think Cinderella. I don't know why. $5, number 13 on the tiny shoe. Daisy and buttons. And I do believe it's older than that one. Yeah, small heel is the only kind of heel I can walk in. Next up, the Lusterware Mermaid. Now, these originally, this pattern was in chalkware. And then, oh, Jazzy is going to take the little shoe. Thank you, Jazzy. Yeah, you're going to have a nice box. So originally, this exact same pattern was done in chalkware, and then they did them in ceramic. This one had, I believe, originally little gems that went in here, and then a little gem at her ear. Those have all, the glue gets gross and they fall out. I do believe she was hanging on someone's bathroom wall because there's also a bit of rust right here. And this particular one would have had 2 baby mermaids that went with it in different poses. But she's very mermaidy mermaid with the iridescence. But it's not chalkware, it is ceramic. I want you to be aware of that. And at some point, somebody put a T inside of it. Don't know why. Thanks, Eileen. All right, so the mermaid, $15, number 76. Just $15, number 76. For the mermaid. And she was hanging in my gallery wall too. A very feminine. Yeah, Kaz, I planned to at some point. I was going to order the little gems and put them on. I even bought the glue one day when I was out, and I just never did. I don't know. My sister does diamond painting, but I never have. All right. This piece. This was made in Holland. It is stamped in there very faintly. Made in Holland. I think this is the only thing I've ever had made in Holland. And it's... Oh, Diane's going to take the mermaid. Thanks, Diane. I've gotten to enjoy her for the last 2 years. So it's time for her to go to another home. So, like, it's this really thin metal. And then the back is, you know, a thin cardboard. So it's not super heavy, but made in Holland. I did have it hanging by its hanger, so it hangs just fine. I could not find any of these online. I did find the rectangle ones, but I couldn't find this like diamond shaped one. But this came straight out of my wall. $10, number 57. $10, number 57. Came straight out of my very feminine gallery wall. Oh, now I put my coffee cup in the wrong spot and I can't set that back down. Okay, next up. Oh, and Donna's going to take that. Thank you, Donna. I can't believe I'm going to get rid of this, you guys, but I never got it hung, and I'm like, now I'm going to put it in storage for another year? That seems stupid. So I'm going to put it up for sale. This is Miller Studios, New Philadelphia, Ohio, 1934. Guys, this is 90 years old. It's so stinking cute. Now it's chalkware. So you can see it's got a little bit of chipping off of the ceramic finish or varnish, not ceramic, but the varnish on here. I love when somebody puts a date on it. It's tiny. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I love him. But he never even got hung this whole time I've been here. 3.5 inches. So Miller Studios elephant, 1934. Just love him. $10, number 21. $10, number 21. And LaDonna's going to take it. I see LaDonna first. If anybody disagrees, let me know. Next up, here's another piece that never got hung, and because it didn't fit into the gallery wall. And so I have just had it. I've been storing it. So it's embroidered and beaded. There's little, like, the seeds on the strawberries are beads. It's little. And this is a metallic thread used in parts of this. So little strawberries. And then this was made in 1996. And it was framed at our local Michael's in 1996. And I love that they put the little things on there so it doesn't move around on the wall once you hang it. It is, and I'm not a big one on embroidery, but this one was just so well done. 5 1/4 inches long and then 3 1/4 inches wide. So just a sweet little hand embroidered and beaded piece. And this one is $10, number 63. It's index card size. Look at that. Number 63, $10. Next up, we have a bit more Fenton. Oh, Carrie Ann's going to take that one. Thank you, Carrie Ann. You guys have seen these before, so this is going to be the lowest price that it's been at. You're going to get both for $1. This one is for a taper, and this one's for a tea light. This is not the bottom to a fairy light, because the bottoms to the fairy lights have little ridges molded into the glass to hold the globe on. So it is the exact same size, because I had this fairy light, but it is not. Just so you know, it has smooth edge all the way around. This is just a tea light holder. This one is a taper holder. Although you could put a photo or tea light in there too. But here they are together. So there's the size difference. And no chips, no cracks on either of them. Just people don't love the avocado color, unfortunately. $6 and you get both pieces of Fenton. $6, number 60. $6, number 60. All right, we've got 3 more items. And then if you guys want a recap of things from the beginning, let me know. You gotta drop it in the chat and I'll do a recap. Otherwise, I won't. We've gotten through this stuff pretty quickly. Thanks, guys. Next up, Chromex Ice Bucket. I actually have 2, and I'm still on the fence about whether or not to keep one. This is the smaller one that I had. And the bottom does still have its Chromex sticker on it, even though it's pretty faded. This is the gold. Okay, Eileen, I'll do a recap. This is the gold tone aluminum. And then it's got the gold and the silver on the top. I love these handles. This reminds me of stuff my grandma had as serving pieces when I was a kid. So I love anything with this handle on it. Just gets me every time. But I had found this one first and had it forever, and then I found the other one, and I think I actually like the other ice bucket better. So I went ahead and chose to put this one in the sale because the other one's just a bit bigger. So this one stands to its edge without the lid, 9 1/4. With the lid goes up to 11 inches, and then the handle is like 13 1/2 inches. But not super heavy since it's got the plastic insert. $10, number 15. $10, number 15. Oh, gotta move stuff carefully. At least this week I was able to get all 25 items on the desk, because some weeks the items are too big and they won't all fit on the desk. Okay, so this is my last bunny item. This is Bunny Lane 1991. And it seems like, from what I've looked up, they did a different bunny scene every year for a few years in a row there, because you can see this bunny in different positions. So it's standard size plate, 8 inches. And let me see if I've got any. There's no chips. There's a tiny little flea bite right here. Can't really see it. $6. But I think it's just adorable for Easter. But I don't think they were all made by the same company. So $6, number 84. $6, number 84. And then last item before I do my recap, this had a sticker from the local company that made it, and the sticker has come off, and now I don't remember who made it. This is a local company, local Ohio company that makes these. And it's a big enough company that you can actually find them online when you look it up by name. You can find them on eBay. But of course, I have lost the sticker. You can see the residue right there. It has come off. But a local pottery company makes these. And sorry, the dogs are barking. My niece's husband came over to help mom and dad move some stuff today. 6 inches tall, and he has no damage. $6. $6, number 52. Thank you, Tiger. Okay, so before the recap, do want to let you guys know that with my health, I cannot make any promises about sales, but I would really like to get one more live sale in next week, and then one more static sale next week, and then don't even know if I'll be able to go live the week after that because I will be doing the final packing up. My daughter's coming the 17th with her boyfriend to get me moved. If I can get some totes boxed up this week, my niece's husband, who's here right now, but I don't have enough packed up, he can, at the end of the week, help me get stuff to the storage unit. But he goes back to work next week. He only had a couple days this week to help us out. So that's the plan. I'm hoping, but I can't make any promises, hoping to get one more live sale in next week, and then one more sale, static sale, kind of clearance sale, last chance kind of thing after that. That's kind of my plan. We'll see how it goes, but I can't make any promises, you guys. If we get another polar vortex coming through here, definitely aren't going to be doing that. But when you have a family as big as we do, some of them are bound to show up and help. Because I have 4 brothers and sisters. Well, I actually have 5 brothers and sisters because I have a foster brother. He lives down south. And then, you know, there are 11. My parents have 11 grandchildren. And Jazzy, don't say bad words like that. Snow is a bad word. We don't like that word. Okay, so recap. Valentine's Day. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys, to Valentine's Day. This is an FTD bowl from the 80s. $5. Last chance on this one at $5, number 7. And this is the size it is. Just, you know, I'm just kidding. Then we had the 1963 King Sealy thermos in this fabulous blue barbershop stripe. It does have some rusting around the edges here. Missing its cup, which makes it way cheaper than if you were looking for one of these online. $8. Number 64. This one came in 2 sizes. This is the small lunchbox size. I'm actually not mad about that polar wind chill below 0 weather that we had because it will help reduce the bugs. Oh, Donna's going to take the thermos. I love this. As a display piece, I think it's just fantastic. But we had such a mild winter last year. The bugs were crazy this past summer. So I'm thrilled that we had sub-zero temperatures because that will mean that the bugs aren't near as bad this summer. Next up was the Taylor thermometer / barometer that works to within a couple of degrees because we checked it here. So right now it is saying the temperature is 65, temperature 69, and it's saying humidity is 40%, humidity is 37% on here. And then I really like that it had the barometric feature over here on this side. And little feetsies, because this was a desktop thermometer / barometer. And this company made a lot of these. They also made the wall hanging ones. $12, number 25 on the thermometer / barometer. This very root beer. No chips, no cracks. Little creamer. It's got a pear pattern. And it is $5, number 19. Oh, Kaz is going to take the thermometer barometer. Nice. So, very root beer looking brown glass creamer, $5, number 19. And then along the same root beery lines, this is the one that has the crack inside the glass under my thumb. And you can feel the crack from the inside. It's not big enough crack to put my my fingernail into, but you can definitely feel it right here under my thumb. I would never burn a candle in here, although someone did previously. And that one, $10. No, wait. $10, number 38. 38, number 38. $10, number 38 on that one. Next up was the bunny teapot. And if you missed it earlier, somebody did have a plant planted in here. So deep in there is dirt or staining from dirt that I could not get out. I soaked this. So mostly just a display piece, but how stinking adorable is it? There is some crazing, and it was unmarked as to who it was. This one's $12, number 53. And then the lettuce pitcher, which we actually used this once. Nice and clean on the inside. Marked Japan on the bottom. $53. All right, so Eileen, you want the bunny teapot. That was a lot of numbers you put in there. Number 7 was the heart crystal bowl. Is that you wanted that one also? And the bunny plate. Okay. Hang on. Let me make sure I've got all of that written down. So, the crystal bowl. And, oh, yep, there it is. Number 84. The Bunny Lane plate. Awesome. Okay, so the lettuce pitcher, and size-wise, that's what it looks like. So this is probably a half-gallon pitcher. And then 1987. And I couldn't figure out what company that was, but made in Japan. And this one, $12, number 22. Yeah, I almost sold out on my sale 2 weeks ago because Chad watched on the replay and bought like 3 or 4 items. So I almost sold out everything on my last one. You guys have been fantastic in helping me unload this stuff so I can move again. Rolling my eyes at the moving again part. Romeo and Juliet scene, carved out of carnelian, according to the back. This was a limited run, and this was 1988. $10, number 36. $10, number 36. And it's not, I mean, it's got some weight to it, but it's not like a slab of marble or anything as far as shipping. The amethyst napkin rings, these are not vintage. And those were $8, number 28. And that was everything, guys. Because you already saw the last 3 things I showed. So thank you. They made other ones? How cool, Donna. And if you missed my coffee cup, this is my coffee cup. This my niece got me for Christmas. And like I said earlier, I'm trying to figure out which, I'm only going to take a couple coffee cups with me. I'm trying to figure out which ones are my favorites. And if you guys want to see again, my dad found these books in his stuff. How cool is this? He just showed me this morning right before I went live. He's like, oh, look at these books you might like. 1950. Look at that green. These are so cool. And then he had these 2 in blue. This in a darker blue. This one is, oh, now I've lost it. 1947 on this one. And then this one 1953. How to finish your attic and basement yourself. 1953 on this one. And then he had this set of 4. 1951 was the latest reprint on these. And they're little, like compared to the other books. How awesome are those? I love vintage books. But I'm paring down. So I can't keep them. Oh, stack those over there. And then they found this notepad. And it has some of the pages. It was used by one of my grandmothers. Mom thought it was Dad's mom who had it. But it was printed before zip codes. And each page has a different saying on it. How fun is that? So they've been uncovering some cool stuff as they've been packing up and getting ready to move themselves. And it's driving my mom crazy because, that woman has 30 days since they signed the paperwork to get out of the house. So she has, I don't know, somewhere mid-month, mid-February. And so, of course, Mom has no measurements on any of the rooms. She has no idea where heating ducts will be located or cold air returns. She's not even sure because the woman, kind of a hoarder, and had so much stuff. Plus, she was decorated for Christmas, had so much stuff everywhere. It was hard to see, like the bones of the house. So Mom is a planner. I'm a planner. I got it from her. Like, I have a graph paper of the room that I'm moving into and then little pieces of furniture size wise. So like, I already know what's going to fit in there. She's the same way, except she has no idea because she can't get into that house until that woman's out. So she has the pictures off of Zillow and, you know, some basic measurements, but it is driving her to distraction to be unprepared for this move. But man, she is cranking through getting stuff packed. She just works a little bit every day, and she has gotten rid of a ton of stuff. So, you know, Spirit Junkie, the paring down so far hasn't been hard because I have not gotten to any of the stuff that's like sentimental, you know. So it's been easier to get rid of stuff that I purchased in the last couple of years than anything that's really sentimental. I haven't gotten rid of anything that's sentimental yet. Well, this house has already been sold, Tiger. So they got to get out of one and get it. That's what happens, though. You get your house sold, and then you got to get into the next house. But that person has 30 days to get out. Yeah, Eileen, I probably will keep. Like anything with my grandmother's, it's an automatic keep. That's always an automatic keep. But Tiger, I think that's always how it goes, though. You can't plan that further in advance because what if your house doesn't sell? You can't buy another one. So you've got to sell one to get another one. And I've got some criteria I'm going by. Like for the kitchen, it was easy to cut it down to the color scheme I picked and then just going with those 3 colors. So the kitchen turned out to be pretty easy. I am keeping my emerald green glass dish set, but I'm going to put it with the Christmas stuff and only pull it out at Christmas. But everything else, if it doesn't fit that, it's going. And like the amber glass, I had a huge collection of amber glass. I still have some out in the garage in totes that was in my previous storage unit. And so I've got to pull that out. And that might be harder to let go of that because those are my favorite pieces. But I've decided that I don't have the room for the amber glass. When I get out on my own again, am I going to want to dust all that amber glass when it's not my first love? Amber glass is not my first love. I love how beautiful it is. I appreciate how pretty it looks and it's warm, but it's not my first love. So probably the amber glass is going to go, all of it. But in here, all about I did keep my tiny amber glass collection so far. I haven't packed it. Like the swans was easy. Not getting rid of any of my swans. A lot of those you guys gifted me. So all of those were easy to pack up. I didn't even have to make decisions. And then like the books are going to be harder because I used to be a reader and my brain's not working well enough to read right now, but will it at some point calm down after perimenopause and I'll be able to read again? So I really have not gone through anything that's going to be hard. Okay, I'm going to get going. And thank you guys so much. This was a successful sale. Thank you for taking beautiful items that I love off of my hands. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Stay warm, everybody.